And then he makes a confession of faith. He says, Lord. Jesus is Lord. I have to think back to if later in life he was writing the book of Romans, he didn't think to this moment when he writes Romans 10:9. He says, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and you believe in your heart that he raised him from the dead, you will. Not you may be, not you could be, not possibly, but you will be saved. How are we saved? Confessing with our mouth Jesus is Lord, believing in our heart that God raised him from the dead. We will be saved by submitting and surrendering our life under the lordship of Jesus. Is Jesus your Lord? See, what we got to recognize is that Jesus is Lord of all, or he's not Lord at all in our lives. We can't just submit the areas that we are comfortable with to the lordship of Jesus. We can't just submit the areas of our life that we don't like to the lordship of Jesus. We can't just submit the areas that we want to change. We submit all of our lives, and that's how we are changed. And there are some people who are wondering, well, how come I'm not growing in my faith? How come I'm not feeling like changed? Well, I have to ask you, are you submitting your life under the lordship of Jesus? Because that's how God begins to change us, by not only confessing, but also practicing, living it out. Because Jesus is Lord of all, or he's not Lord of all. Question, is Jesus the Lord of your life? Not just on Sundays, that's easy. But what about Monday and Tuesday? What about when you go to work? What about the way that you husbands love your wives, and wives, the way that you love and honor your husbands? Is God the Lord of your marriage? Is he the Lord of your dating relationships? Is he the Lord of your children and the way you parent and the way you raise your kids? Is he the Lord of you at work, or you one person at work and you're somebody different at home and you're somebody different at church? Is he the Lord of your life? Is he the Lord over your sexuality? Is he the Lord over your gender? Is he the Lord of your finances? Is he the Lord of your reputation? Is he the Lord of your life? Because he doesn't want some of you, he wants all of you. And you can't just have some of him, it's all or nothing. Is Jesus the Lord of your life? Saul recognizes there's an authority here, and I'm going to surrender to it. That's an act of confession.